Hello everyone, welcome back to the Creative Grassroots Garden. If you're new to my channel, I'm Jen. Thank you for joining me today and helping my channel grow. If you enjoy this video, be sure to tap that thumbs up and subscribe button to help support the channel. You could also click that notification bell to stay up to date with my newest uploads. It's been a slightly cloudy day here in Northeast Florida. Today is April 30th. And in today's video, I'll be sharing a quick garden tour of all the delicious fruits and vegetables that I have growing. My flowers are also blooming beautifully. Having a wide range of flowers in your garden help attract pollinators. So the first plant I'd like to share with everyone is my red grapevine. I have 2 grape plants growing up and over the trellis. Growing vertically is a great way to save space in your garden. My grape plants were purchased over at my local plant nursery last year, and this is the first year they're beginning to produce fruit. The grapevines are looking super healthy. I have a ton of fruit growing, and I'm so excited to give these a try. Grapevines can grow up to 115 feet in length if not properly pruned, so be sure to provide plenty of space for your grapevines to spread out. Next up, I wanted to share a quick update on my watermelons and the progress that they're making. And my watermelons are looking happy and healthy. I have sunflowers planted as companion plants and they're growing super quick. Over in this garden bed here, I have my white corn growing, and they're growing quickly. It also looks like I have a little bit of Swiss chard randomly growing in there. On the other side of the white corn, I have cucumbers planted to grow up the trellis. And here I have my first cucumber of the year. I also have a ton more down here growing. Along every cattle panel, I have a different variety of cucumbers planted. Over in this garden bed, I have my eggplants growing, and I already have some beginning to form and take shape. Here I have my Kajari melons to grow up the wooden trellis, as well as garlic and some self-germinated tomatoes. Next up, I wanted to share a quick update on my Brussels sprouts. My Brussels sprouts I noticed have been growing really slowly. So if anyone watching has any tips for my Brussels sprouts, feel free to drop it down in the comment section below. I greatly appreciate it. Over here I have more red acre cabbage growing, as well as some lovely flowers. My jasmine is growing beautifully as well. It has such a lovely fragrance. Moving on, the next thing I wanted to share with everyone is my blackberries. I have 2 blackberry plants separated about 6 feet in containers. And I'm definitely going to do a video on these very soon. Thankfully, I have a good amount growing, because it's definitely a race when it comes to harvesting, between me, the birds, and the squirrels. Netting is always a great idea to help deter them from getting to your fruit. Over in this garden bed, I have my green beans growing up the bamboo poles as well as the sweet corn stalks. Beans are also great companion plants for corn. My sweet corn is already beginning to grow tassels. The tassels are what holds the pollen that drop down onto the silks that will produce the corn. On one side of the sweet corn, I have a ton of zucchini growing, and on the opposite side, I have my German butterball potatoes. And my potatoes are definitely about ready to be harvested. This is the yellow squash garden bed, and directly behind that, I have more green beans growing. There's nothing like fresh green beans from the garden. They're so delicious. So next up, I wanted to share a quick update on my potatoes. Potatoes are ready once they start dying off and turning brown and yellow in color. They've been growing for about 3 months now, and they're definitely ready for harvest. I'll be doing a video on these soon. If you ever notice your potatoes becoming exposed to sunlight, they may start turning green. So be sure to keep your potatoes fully covered. Here I have a few more banana trees planted. I also have a lot more cabbage growing. And this is my peach tree. It's already beginning to produce fruit. The garden bed against the fence is filled with more Brussels sprouts. These were all recently transplanted over from another garden bed, and they're still currently in shock. Hopefully they'll pop back up in the next couple of days. This here is my loquat tree that was started from seed between 5 and 6 years ago. Over in this container, I have my blueberries growing, and they're looking beautiful. Next to the blueberries, I have my beautiful lemon tree. And next to the lemon tree container, I have my Persian lime plant. Over here, I have a container filled with Swiss chard, as well as more sunflowers, cucumbers, and a whole bunch of daikon radish. My daikon radish should be ready for harvest soon. Down here, I also have Armenian cucumbers planted to grow up the trellis. And over here, I have some more Boston cucumbers planted. This container is my guava tree. Container gardening is also another great idea if you have a limited growing space. Here I have my avocado tree that was also started from seed about 5-6 years ago, and it's growing great. This here is another loquat tree, but this one was purchased over at my local plant nursery. And over here is our cherry tree that's coming back from dormant. Last year, this tree produced one cherry, so I'm hoping this year is a little bit more productive. I also wanted to share a quick update on my snow white watermelon seeds. They finally germinated. Alright y'all, it's time to move forward to the rest of the yard. And over here is definitely a work in progress. But I have a ton of projects and plans for over here. This is the beautiful Charentai's melon that's going to grow up the trellis. I'm planning on painting the shed and making a beautiful walkway around the whole backside. Over here, I'm planning on mulching the whole side and building more garden boxes. Y'all please excuse the mess, it's a work in progress. These strawberries are planted by seed and this is a climbing variety, so they'll definitely need a trellis as they get bigger. Over here, I built an L-shaped garden bed with a trellis to go around the AC unit, and I planted some cucumbers to grow up the trellis. I figured this was a great way to hide the AC unit from being so exposed. The cucumber variety is called Silver Slicer, and I'm really looking forward to trying those. I made sure to keep the garden bed at least a foot away from the AC unit, just in case any work ever needs to be done. And over here, I have some more Boston cucumbers growing up the trellis, as well as a bed of sweet potatoes at the bottom. Everything's growing so well. This is my tangerine tree, and I recently noticed it's already beginning to produce fruit. Along the fence, we have a green grapevine growing. This is my orange tree, and it's also beginning to produce fruit. I'll also definitely be making a video of the full transformation of this side of the home. I have so many plans for over here. Here's one of my bell pepper plants that survived the winter, and it's the first one of the season. Down here in this container, I have my honeydew melons planted. These are my collard greens that were planted from seed not long ago, and they're germinating beautifully. Down here, I have some purple cauliflower growing, as well as some fruit that was all started from seed. Here I have my ornamental peppers, as well as my pomegranates that were started from seed. Up top are my avocados, and down here below are my beautiful pineapple plants. Be sure to keep an eye out for my upcoming video on blackberries, as well as my German butterball potatoes. Thank you all for taking the time to join me today. I hope everyone's having a lovely day. I'm Jen at the Creative Grassroots, and I'll see y'all next time. Have a great day, everyone.